City leaders believe residents will vote to keep the earnings tax, but they're also considering plans for life after the e-tax just in case.
Chris Hernandez has been bringing us reports on the earnings tax all week and is here with tonight's final story.
City leaders say police and fire services would be cut drastically if voters repeal the earnings tax. That tax generates just over $200 million a year. That's about 40% of the city's general fund. A police newsletter warns it could mean laying off hundreds of officers and civilian workers and closing patrol stations.
If the e-tax goes away, we have to start from scratch. We have to look literally from the ground up and figure out how it is that we're going to continue to respond to the calls that come into the Kansas City Police Department. 850,000 911 calls last year.
The City Council budget chair agrees police and fire would take big cuts since public safety consumes 2/3 of the city's general fund.
I don't want to sound alarmist, but that's just the fact.
The acting city manager recommends raising property taxes and utility fees if voters repeal the e-tax. But Mayor Funkhauser questions that approach and says he'd push to privatize more services.
If it's repealed, what we will have to do is cut services a lot because we're not going to replace the revenue. I think we ought to look for opportunities to privatize things more aggressively.
What I really want to do is make Kansas City a more business-friendly atmosphere.
City Council candidate Malin Davis opposes the e-tax and offers a plan to replace it. He would privatize all of the city's trash service, not just part of it, as well as shopping out Parks and Rec and other city services.
There is enough money. I believe in my plan. Enough money will be raised to replace the e-tax.
But his plan still falls short. The starting numbers he gave us are incomplete and only cover about half of what would be lost in the first year. Chris Hernandez, NBC Action News.
There's Chris Hernandez reporting there.
Expect cuts to regional attractions like the zoo and the Liberty Memorial, too.
Right now, the council is considering two budget plans, one with and one without the e-tax. Again, the e-tax vote is April 5th.